The Mummy is directed by Alex Kurtzman, and it features Tom Cruise, Annabelle Wallis, Russell Crowe, and features Sofia Boutella as the Mummy. You heard me right. We have a female mummy in this movie, and it's a nice change of pace. Now, I'll get onto that later. I had fun with this movie. I really enjoyed the last three Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser. I thought the first one was really good. The second one was a hit and miss among most people, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, the third one was kind of bad, but it was a guilty pleasure in my opinion. So I was excited to hear that they were going to reboot the franchise, and I was also excited to hear that they were going to do this cinematic universe where they have the Mummy as a starting point, and then they were going to do movies such as like Invisible Man and Dracula, and kind of like bring it all together, kind of what they did with the Avengers. And that's what really got me excited, because I love those classic horror movies. And what do I have to say about this movie as its starting off point? This is the point where they start off, and it's alright. It's fun. There's fun moments in the movie. But there are some big issues that I want to point out. But before I get into those issues, I'm going to talk about the story of the movie. So basically, the movie starts off with Tom Cruise and Jake Johnson's characters. They go on this mission and they accidentally discover the tomb of the mummy. And then Annabelle Wallis's character, she comes in to collect the sarcophagus of the mummy to take back to Russell Crowe. And it's like this mysterious organization that Russell Crowe works in. And then bad things start happening. We get this awesome plane crash scene where the stunt work in this scene was absolutely amazing. I was really surprised on how well it looked. And then from then on there, we just get Tom Cruise running from this mummy. And he does a lot of running in this movie. He does a lot of running in all of his movies, though. But all jokes aside, the story was fine. You know, I actually enjoyed the story. Now, one issue I had with the movie was there's a lot of exposition, a lot of unnecessary exposition, and there's moments where Tom Cruise's character is seeing visions, and that's just one problem I have with movies. I hate in movies when characters see visions. I just think it's not something I enjoy. I don't know why. I think it's stupid. So that was one of the issues I had with the movie. Another issue I had with the movie was Jake Johnson's character. So he plays the comedic sidekick, and that can go one of two ways. It can work out really well, which it does in some movies, or like in most movies, it could just fail miserably. And it fails. He's pretty annoying in this movie, and I did not care for his character at all in this movie. And the thing is, you could literally take his character out of this movie, and you wouldn't even notice a difference. Like, I didn't even understand like why he was in this movie. And another issue I have with the movie is there's never any time to breathe. Like, you just have action scene after action scene after action scene. This movie really feels rushed, in my opinion. There's never really any moments where characters have these conversations that they just develop, and I wanted character development in this movie because I wanted to like the characters. Like Tom Cruise, he plays a somewhat interesting character, but they don't flesh him out well enough, so he just feels like a generic military guy who actually turns out to be a looter. He's somewhat of a dick. And supposedly there's a love interest between Tom Cruise and Annabelle Wallis' characters, but it doesn't feel fleshed out. And that was something else I kind of just wanted to invest in, but they didn't really flesh it out well enough. But Russell Crowe character was definitely the standout of this movie. Now, I'm not going to spoil who he played in this movie. It definitely was a surprise to me, and I really enjoyed every scene he was in. There's a moment in the movie where he's telling Tom Cruise's story, and just this whole scene was just interesting to watch. Like, I really enjoyed it. So I love Russell Crowe in this movie. Now, Sofia Boutella in this movie as the mummy was brilliant. You know, as much as I liked Imhotep in the last Mummy movies. I was really happy that they went with a female mummy in this movie. It was a good change of pace, and she did a really good job in her acting scenes. And the special effects for the mummy actually looked really well. They were creepy and gross, and I really enjoyed it. They weren't as scary as, say, the Mummy in the first Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser, because I mean I watched that as a kid though, so as a kid it was more impactful on me, like it scared me more. But in this Mummy movie, she's definitely creepy, and I gotta say, like, the action scenes in this movie were really well done. You could tell like the production in this movie was top notch. Like the special effects were really good, and there's a lot of awesome stunt work. There's the plane scene, and then there's a whole middle section within the movie that I really liked. And we get the awesome sandstorm with the face in it, and it was really neat. I like I said, the special effects are really good. But that's kind of the problem with the movie. So I felt like the earlier Mummy movies, like the first one with Brendan Fraser, they blended action well with horror. In this one, it's action, it's action, it's action. I mean, there's one scene where it does really good when it comes to horror elements, but it's more action over horror, and that was something I was kind of disappointed of. Like they didn't really blend it well, and it being a Mummy movie, I expected there to be more horror, and so that was kind of a disappointment to me. So overall, like I said, I had fun with this movie. They had good action scenes in it. The Mummy I really liked. Russell Crowe's character was a standout. Tom Cruise was alright, but it was kind of something we've seen before. But there were problems with the movie. Like I said, it was just too action heavy. Jake Johnson's character was just, I don't even want to talk about it. And it had just too much exposition. And like I said, I don't like it when people see visions in movies. It's unnecessary in my opinion. So if I was to give this movie a rating, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. And that's my review of The Mummy. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you guys have any suggestions, just leave a comment down below. And make sure, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. I plan on putting out more videos throughout the week. So as always, have a wonderful night, guys.